Are you dealing with relationship conflicts? Well, Jesus provides a process that really works, especially when you've been done wrong. Jesus said, settle it face to face. Good morning and welcome to 755 Live. For about 5 minutes, you'll hear all about easy to remember soundbite versions of what Jesus said. And the point is to help you experience life to the fullest, the Jesus way. Today's Jesus Said comes from Matthew 18, verses 15 through 17, where Jesus said, if another believer sins against you, go privately and point out the offense. If the other person listens and confesses it, you have won that person back. But if you are unsuccessful, take one or two others with you, go back again, so that everything you say may be confirmed by 2 or 3 witnesses. If the person still refuses to listen, take your case to the church. Then if he or she won't accept the church's decision, treat that person as a pagan or a corrupt tax collector. Now that's the formula that Jesus gave for dealing with relationship conflicts. And the truth is that you are probably not a very good mind reader, and neither am I. So Jesus said that we should settle it face to face. And he gives you 3 very simple steps to deal with someone who has done you wrong. You see, reconciliation is the key to relationship and belonging. And mind reading isolates you into this us against them mentality where there's anger, fear, and anxiety. And if you don't deal directly with the conflict, then your own internal conflict will directly impact many other things in your life. That's why Jesus gave us this recipe. And if you want grandma's apple pie, you have to follow her recipe. And if you don't follow this process that Jesus gave, the recipe, these simple commands, you won't get reconciliation or the right kind of reaction to those who don't respond like you want them to. You see, mind reading will get you division, judgment, whispers, and gossip, or in more modern terms, social media. Now, here are some little known facts. The way that Jesus outlined dealing with fault and conflict among believers in Matthew 18 does not include passive-aggressive social media posts. The recipe does not include going to someone else to talk about someone else. But if someone wrongs you, the right thing is to go to them personally. You see, gossip is easy, but what Jesus said is better. And notice that you can't follow this whole process unless you already belong to a body of believers, the church. And by belong, I mean committed to, invested in, not just somewhere that you attend. Because this recipe won't work if you aren't committed to long-term relationship. But in our society, relationships are disposable. You can unfollow, unfriend, pick another church. But if you don't deal with the real conflict, you just take all that internal conflict with you. And the cycle just repeats itself. This Matthew 18 recipe is 3 simple steps in order. But unfortunately, most people jump to the consequences of step 3 without even trying step 1. First, you go directly to the person who has wronged or offended you. And most conflict is really just a lack of communication and understanding. But if that doesn't work, try again with 2 or 3 witnesses. And the very last resort is to bring it to the church, a group of Jesus followers doing life together. And then, and only then, if it still doesn't work, the rules of relationship need to change. And those are the steps. But we have to have the right attitude to actually follow those steps. And here's the attitude. Paul says in Galatians 6, 1 through 3, dear brothers and sisters, if another believer is overcome by some sin, you who are godly should gently and humbly help that person back onto the right path. And be careful not to fall into the same temptation yourself. Share each other's burdens, and in this way, obey the law of Christ. If you think you are too important to help someone, you are only fooling yourself. You are not that important. You see, reconciliation isn't about fixing each other. It's about helping to carry each other's burdens. And when we don't settle things face to face, we're not helping the other person. And just running away is easy. But that's not what Jesus said to do. He said, settle it face to face. How can you put that into action today? Thank you so much for listening. If this is meaningful to you, it does mean a lot when you like it, when you share it, when you comment. I really appreciate you. I hope that you have an amazing day. And I hope this time together has helped you live life to the fullest the Jesus way. And remember, follow Jesus today. Love first.